Search is on for someone who tried to run over a Cobb County Sheriff's deputy. That deputy was checking on an attempted car break-in at the sheriff's office last night. He confronted two people. One ran away. The other jumped into a car and hit the deputy with it. During that altercation, the deputy did pull his agency-issued duty weapon and fire at that vehicle that had just struck him. It's unclear whether that happened just before or just after he was struck. I can tell you that the deputy was taken to Kennestone Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're very grateful for that he will make a complete recovery. Marietta police are not sharing any kind of description at this point of the people they're looking for, but they are asking for help. They'd like to hear from anybody who may have seen what happened or know who did it.